everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jamie and I have some great DIYs I'm excited to share with you. So today is a very special video because I am participating in a DIY challenge hosted by the very lovely and talented Heidi Sonboul. It is her Friend Friday hop, so there are others that are going to be joining in this challenge. So after you watch this video, scroll down to the description box and check out the next friend in the hop. Also linked down below is Heidi Sonboul's new channel. It's called Heidi Sonboul Home, and she has got some great videos on cleaning motivation, decorating, room makeovers, and organization. So be sure to check her out. So with all that being said, let's jump into the DIYs.
I'm going to start off with these two signs from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut the string and tags off, and then I'm just going to secure them with some hot glue and popsicle sticks. And now with some aerosol glue gun, I'm just going to go ahead and remove these stickers. Next, I'm going to be making my frame out of these 4 large paint stirrers. And as you can see, there are numbers on one side and it's blank on the other side. That is the side we're going to be using. And here I am just making my marks to see where I need to make my cuts. Now I'm making my cuts so that my top and bottom pieces are the full width of my sign, and then the 2 side pieces are going to be cut shorter because they're going to fit in between those top and bottom pieces. Here is one of my side pieces, and I measured about an inch and a half-ish from the bottom of my sign, and I'm just going to go ahead and make that cut there. And here I'm just taking my 2 top pieces, my top and bottom pieces, and I'm just matching up the line that I had just made. Next I go in with my folk art chalk paint in black, and I just do 1 coat on my sign. Now with the help of my husband, I'm just going to be using this jigsaw, I think is what it's called, and I'm going to be making my cuts on all 4 sticks. Next step is to add my favorite stain called Red Oak in Minwax, and I'm just going to be doing just the top side that's actually going to be showing on my side and the little edges of the wood pieces. Next, I'm going to be putting my frame together, and I'm just kind of putting my pieces down where I think they should go, or where they're supposed to be going. And once I get everything lined up, I'm going to be securing this with some hot glue. Now, friends, if you don't have paint sticks, it's okay. Just go ahead and use some Jenga blocks or popsicle sticks. You know, whatever you have is just fine. Now what I almost forgot to show you before I did my staining is that I use this Valentine's Day sign, and I'm just going to pop that middle piece off of there because I'm only going to be using that, and I'm going to use this piece to cover up that ugly crease, seam, or whatever you want to call it that is in the middle of my sign. Now I just sanded the back side of this piece here. I don't want to use the side that says Valentine's Day. I'm just going to use the other side, and it still has a bit of red on there, so I'm going to cover it with some burlap that I picked up from Walmart for I think it's about $5. 1 layer of burlap is not going to work because if you could tell there is a little bit of red still showing, so I do double up on the burlap, and because I'm doubling up on burlap, I also double up on the hot glue. have that hot glue down, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this over and trim the edges of this. And if I had done this over again, I actually would have hot glued the backside of this down first and then trimmed it, because on one side I didn't give myself enough room, but it's okay. I made it work and it turned out beautiful. Now for the two dovetail ends, I didn't bother hot gluing these ends down. I just went ahead and trimmed it off. Now if y'all want to, you can follow me on Instagram at texas.girl.diys, or you can follow me on Facebook, same way it's spelled here. So now here I'm just going to be handwriting my words. I don't own a Cricut or a Silhouette or anything like that, and I do appreciate handwritten letters, but I don't have the prettiest of handwriting, and as you can see, I do mess up a lot on this. So I erase and I go over it again, and I erase and I go over it again, and it's okay. Just take your time and just keep working with it. And honestly, that's what's great about using pencil first, is that I can just keep drawing it out, or excuse me, writing it out, and then erasing if I make a mistake. Now for that burlap piece, I do go and use the Waverly chalk paint in white to spell out the word tomorrow. Now it actually should have said tomorrows with an S, but I ended up not giving myself enough room for that, so it just says tomorrow, but it is all handwritten. Now going in with my white chalk paint pen, I'm just going to go over the letters that I just drew in pencil, and I'm just painting them, following the lines and making it as pretty as possible. Now I don't think I actually show it, but I do hot glue my burlap piece down once I have all my words down where I want them to be, and I just use some simple hot glue and just put that over that ugly seam that's in the middle. Now the next thing I do is I just take some Dollar Tree floral, and I'm just kind of positioning the flowers and everything where I think that they should go, and once I figure it all out, I go ahead and attach it with some hot glue. Now that pink flower was actually giving me a hard time. I don't know why. The hot glue was just not letting that flower sit right, and it just kept lifting up. So what I ended up doing was just I put some hot glue on the stem of that flower, wrapped some jute twine around it, just so that the hot glue had something to sit on with the frame and the flower, and yeah, it ended up working out better. And here I am, I'm just making a simple little bow. I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach it to that pink flower that I had put some jute twine around, just to, you know, make it a little bit more finished looking. And there you go. It's just as simple as tying your shoe. Cute little bow. So in the top opposite corner of where I put those other flowers, I just took another pink flower, took it off the stem, and I just used some hot glue to attach it to those little leaves, and then I hot glued it to that top corner right there. And I just absolutely love the way this turned out. I ended up taking some Dollar Tree burlap ribbon. I made a cute little hanger for it. That way I can hang it in my hallway. So yeah, and then as you can see right here, it should have said tomorrow's, and I ran out of space for that. But oh well, I mean, it still looks really cute. And that rake and shovel there is actually a sticker that I had picked up from Dollar Tree, and I just thought it was just a cute added embellishment, and I just love the way this one turned out. Okay, for the second DIY, I've got 4 planters in this bucket here from Dollar Tree. This is really pretty. I love the detail on these 4 buckets here, and I also have a cake tray. I'm going to be using this for some bird seed, but I'm not full set on using that. Don't know if I actually want to use that or not, but if I do, it's going to sit on that flower pot. You'll see in the end, it'll make sense. This dowel I picked up from Walmart. It was like 97 cents. It's the 7/8 of an inch dowel, so in case you're looking for it. And then this Rust-oleum spray paint in Spa Blue. My daughter picked that one out, and I'm so glad she did because it looks beautiful. So this is what everything looks like after one coat of the spray paint. Everything is going to get spray painted blue except for the dowel. That's going to get stained later on. But as you can see, I end up doing like 3 or 4 coats on everything except for the tray. I think I only did 2 coats on that tray because that was clear. And then my husband here is helping me with the drill. Only 3 of the flower pots are getting a hole in the bottom off to the side. So the next thing I do, I just seal everything with some polycrylic, and I only just did 1 coat of that, and it dries pretty quick. I also realized later on that using a foam brush creates bubbles, so later on I figure out that using a paper towel works a lot better. So this is the polycrylic that I used. I forgot to show that. And this is the wood stain that I use called Red Oak. And I just did 1 coat on this dowel. And then once I did that, I went ahead and sealed it with the polycrylic. So now the next thing I'm doing is that I'm just taking a Sharpie marker and I'm just tracing around where the dowel is, because even though my husband did drill some holes in these flower pots, his drill bit was still not big enough for how big this dowel was. So I end up going in with my wood burning tool and I melted it so that it would make this hole bigger. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever done this before. I had never done this, and I was certain that it was going to do what I wanted it to do, but I had never done this before, so I wasn't sure if like this was going to catch on fire or anything. I had no idea what to expect, but thankfully nothing like that happened. It did exactly what I wanted it to do, and this worked out perfectly. So after I got the dowel shoved in there, as you can see, this is the way it looks like, and I shove it most of the way down. I don't want to go all the way down because it's going to go into that bigger flower pot, but as you can see, I'm working from the bottom up. So the next 2 flower pots that I'm going to be working on, I'm just going to be basically stacking them. Okay, so this is what it looks like after all 3 flower pots are on the dowel, and I'm just kind of repositioning them, trying to make them like, I don't know, like off tilt or cattywampus, like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just kind of, I need like a visual, so I just put it in that bottom pot, and I'm like really gonna shove this down. Like, this is like a tight fit, and it's really good, and I do end up going in with some hot glue to just kind of better secure it. I don't think it was actually necessary, but I do it anyway. So I'm just trying to position these flower pots basically where I need to. You can see that I actually did struggle a little bit trying to move these flower pots around. Like, they're pretty snug in there. But that's good because then that just tells me that when I want to actually put some like for real flowers in there, that it's going to actually hold the weight. So that's pretty awesome. So the next, I found this brick in my backyard, but I like it because it's got the 3 holes in it, and conveniently that middle hole actually holds the dowel pretty good. There's still a little bit of a gap, so I do have to go in and I take some what do you call that, E6000. I put a bunch of E6000 on my brick, and then I also top it off with some hot glue, and then I just stick that to the bottom. Now if you want more weight on there, just go ahead, fill it with rocks or dirt, whatever you see fit. And then I stick that dowel in there, and then just to kind of fill in the gap, I just took a popsicle stick, cut that in half, and filled that sucker with more hot glue. So here's a better angle of me just gonna add some hot glue around the edge of where that dowel is. And like I said, I don't think I actually need it because like I said, it was snug on there already, but just in case, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, I add a little extra hot glue to all of the flower pots. Now it's time to add my fourth and final flower pot, and I just put a little bit of E6000 right there in the center and then put some hot glue on the very top of that dowel, and that'll help secure it a little bit better, and then that's pretty much it. So this is how it turned out in the end. That tray that is on the very top there, I put some birdseed in there just so you can get a visual of, you know, what I was going for. I'm not dead set on it. You know, I didn't hot glue it on there or anything. I was thinking about taking that off. Filled the flower pots with some Dollar Tree floral, just so you can see what it looks like, and I'm probably going to be filling these up once I get to the store and get some real flowers, but I absolutely love how beautiful and springy this turned out. I love the blue and the green. It really does look very pretty, and it looks perfect in my backyard.
So that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed these DIYs. I know I enjoyed doing them. If you like this video, and I sure hope you did, please give a Texas Girl some love and hit that like button down below. Subscribe, ring the little bell, and leave me a comment. Let me know which one was your favorite. Also, don't forget to scroll down to the description box and click on the next friend so that you can continue on to this DIY challenge. And also don't forget to check out Heidi Sonboul's channel as well. And y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.